Hi, Carlos. How are you?
Hello.
Let's start with, as usual, the latest injury news. Danny Ward unfortunately missed out last week. Will he be available again for Saturday?
No, unfortunately, we are not going to have Danny Ward in the squad for tomorrow game. He started to feel, before the previous game, he started to feel something in the hamstring. We checked this, and he has an injury that is going to avoid that he can be with the squad tomorrow and in the next days.
How long could he possibly be out for?
We don't know. We need to make this next week another scan to know exactly how long it's going to take, but I think not going to be probably he's not going to have now with us in the next game 100% no, and I don't know how he's going to evaluate what is going to be the evolution of the injury, but we will have to see in the next scan how long it's going to take.
How big a blow is it that he's going to be out for a few weeks then, by the sounds of things?
I think we need to be ready to adapt to any scenarios, like to lose some players in the injury. Of course, never is a positive news because we like that to have always our squad full with the players making what they want to do. But at the same time, we need to adapt to any scenario that can happen because the injuries is part of these possibilities. And now, unfortunately, we have him as an injury player. Then we need to adapt and to find the solution that we did in the last game.
Does that put extra urgency on maybe bringing another striker into the squad?
We don't want to make anything or to make any decision because it's an injury. Something like you need just for maybe for a short period of time. We want to continue analyzing very well the situation. We need to see if we are going to need increase the number of strikers or we can increase the number of one player who can give us the striker as a second position. We are analyzing all the possibilities of the markets, but because what we want is not just to cover one gap. We want to be sure that the player that we add to the squad, if we add some players, can help the team to make a stronger squad.
Do you accept, though, that is an area where you do need to strengthen?
Now, at the beginning of the season, we start with the idea to have Danny Ward and Fraser Campbell as strikers. Now, from the last week, Fraser Campbell came back to the group, start to train. Now, today he complete 1 week consecutive week training with the group. This is for me something very positive. Like I told you, we have lost now Danny Ward for the injury, and of course we have different alternatives of players that can adapt to this position, and we'll see what is the best option for the club. Is if it's add one player that can be as a second striker, as a second position the striker, or to analyze every player that we have first who can be adapted to this position too and to cover this gap.
Are you happy then with Fraser Campbell's injury progress that you would be happy to select him on Saturday?
Of course, to have Fraser Campbell is a positive news for us because we planificate the squad having as a minimum these two strikers, Danny Ward and Fraser Campbell. We couldn't work with him from we are right here. Just he started to work with us in the last week. Now it's 7 days working with the team, and of course he's going to need more time to be ready to play the game in the normal condition, in the condition that he can play the game. But at the same time, it's very positive to have him ready to help the team.
Other injuries, if you could give us a quick update on Lewis O'Brien. Everyone is keen to see back. How close is he to being available?
We are following the process of his injury. Now his injury, we knew that have to take time to recover in the perfect situation. So now we are going to spend, I think, still we don't have in the moment that we would like to have. We don't have him ready yet. Then we need to continue working with his injury because we know that it wasn't a short injury, but I think we are now in the final part of the treatment.
And is there anybody else who will definitely be missing or anyone who's definitely available again to go to Brentford?
Now, I think during this week, the more positive thing was that we recovered players that, at the same time, like Fraser Campbell, was, for example, materially players that start to work the last week as a first week with the group after some injury process. Then now, during this week, we could work with all these players and we didn't lose anyone for any injury reason. Then always to have the options to continue working with them consecutive days is something positive for the squad.
We understand that Naby is self-isolating at the moment. How is he? That must be incredibly difficult for him.
yes, it's like now he need to follow the regulations that appear now in the for any people that came here to England. Then he has to be isolated in the hotel. We are making some type of meetings we are using now the new media, the new possibilities that we have to communicate with him. At the same time, he's making a program that the physical coach are preparing for him, but we know that the conditions that he can work are limited because he only can be there in the hotel, in the room, trying to do it. But at the same time, we want to be focused, trying to adapt him and trying to make whatever we can do to, in the moment that he came with the group, be in the best conditions that he can be. Then start is like we know that we are going to spend some time with him before he can add in a normal circumstances with the squad.
Frustrating for him, but frustrating for you as well, a player that I'm sure you are keen to get into the squad as soon as possible.
I think always in the life we can be watching the situation that make us feel more frustrated or watching in the solution that we have. So now we know this from we and him, so it's a situation that is not new for us. We know that he will add to the squad with the pass of maybe in the next week. Then what we need to do is just be focused in the play that we have, just be focused in the play that we are adding now, just be focused in the young central back that can cover Schindler or Sterman to play in this position and continue to develop in all of them, because they have to be ready to cover any possibility that appear during the games or during the week.
Let's talk about Brentford. Is their style of football similar to the style of football that you want Huddersfield Town to play?
I think they are working now close to 2 years with the same coach, with Tom and Frank. I think Brentford is one club that is doing the things, very good things in the last years. They are playing now with more. They have created a group of a squad with players that they continue having from the last year to this year. At the same time, they lose one very important player until now. I don't know what is going to happen in the market, but they are one squad full of players that continue playing from the last year to this year. Of course, for me, they didn't play the final of the playoff by coincidence. I think they deserve to be there. They did an amazing last part of the season last year, and that's why they were in this position. At the same time, I think it's a club that continue. They are working well. They have one style. They have one identity. Something that every club wants to have. Everyone with different ideas. But I think the result that they got last year, or maybe the result that they achieved yesterday, is not by coincidence. It's because they are doing a good job.
Do you expect them to be up there challenging again this season?
We don't know, because everything is like every year in Championship is a challenge. It's a clear challenge, and I think it's very difficult to make any prediction about what is going to happen in the league, and especially now in the moment that we are. They lost the game in the first game that they play in the Championship this year. I was watching the game, and I think they did very positive things to don't lose this game. But now, of course, they are going to be one strong squad that you are going to find a lot of strong squad that you have to face, and you need to be ready and you need to be strong, because we are going to be just focused in the things that depend on us. We are going to be focused in ourselves, trying to develop all the resources, all the skills that we are going to need to face the Championship.
Just finally on the transfer window, I'm afraid we ask you about this every week. Are there any imminent signings or any imminent departures? For example, can you give us an update? Is there any movement on Carl and Grant?
We are going to arrive to this game with the same player that we had the last week. This is what is going to be the real situation. We have exactly the same players. Then the situation with Carl Grant, for example, is the same situation that we had in the last week. We continue be thinking the same. They will continue working in the same way with him or with all the players in the club. So now we don't have any update, any new situation. That I think now is positive, because it means that we continue having the same player that we arrived to the previous game.
If you are still looking to add to the squad, is it players like Naby Keita who are a little more experienced in the Championship that you're looking to add to the squad, to add to the great young players that you've already got available to you?
I think the most important thing when you are watching the market and you want to add some players to the squad is to see the potential of the players. One of the positive things is the experience to have live first. How are the games here in England? How are the games in the Championship? Of course, this is something positive that can give an extra value to one interesting player, but the most important for me is to the skills of the players, the potential the players have, and to see that one player is exactly what you are looking for.
A player that potentially has been linked with Huddersfield Town, Carol Eiting at Ajax. Is he someone on your radar?
Like I said one time before, when we start to talk about players that are linked now with us, it's like I don't like to talk about any player that is not in our club, because I don't want to talk. It's not my word to talk about players that are not allowed to another clubs.
Thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Or
Catherine.
Saturday even.
Yeah.
Catherine, thank you. Stephen, whenever you're ready, mate.
Hi, Carlos. Just sticking with transfers for a moment. There's been talk today that Terence Kongolo might be heading to Fulham. Do you know anything about that at all? Can you give us an update on that?
Harry, he is working from I arrived here to the club. He wasn't working with us. He continued following one adaptation process, but I think he's going to be one of the players that have options to don't stay with us in the next year.
Okay, thank you. This is your first away game that you're going to have with this side. Does that bring about any change of approach at all?
We like to make the normal weeks thinking just in the game. For us, every game is the same important. Every game is 3 points. We need to be ready to face the game when we play at home, when we play away. Then we play at the same time. So I don't think the conditions are going to change. So when we play just once per week, we try to give a lot of stability in the weeks, continue preparing the game that we were doing until now, and this is our idea from now until the end.
Great stuff. One player who's coming up against his former club is Alex Pritchard. A lot of fans feel like they've not seen the best out of him for Huddersfield Town over the last couple of years. What do you feel he offers to the side, and how do you get more out of Alex Pritchard?
I think when we arrived here, we were watching the possibilities that Alex Pritchard can give to the team. And now, first of all, to get the best performance for Alex, he needed a bit of more continuity with the trainings, because you can improve if you trust that the trainings help you to improve your performances. One player that need more training was him, because unfortunately he, in the past, before we arrived here, he had some injuries and he couldn't have maybe the continuity that he needed to show the player that he can be. Now, from we arrive here, we start to work in this process, because my main target with him was to recover him, trying to be involved in all the trainings that we are doing as a team. Now I think we are controlling the situation, and Alex Pritchard now is training regularly with the team. So it is something positive, and I think that when you are working every day and you continue demanding a lot to yourself every day, every single day, without any important interruption, you have more options to show the player that you can be.
Yeah, lovely. And another player who was a little bit frustrating at the weekend was Juninho Bacuna. He's got a lot of talent, but it's just finding the right time to use that talent, isn't it, sometimes?
Honestly, from my point of view, I wasn't frustrated with any of the players in the last game. What I was watching is that the team find a very good spirit to be very competitive to face one game, and I am happy when I see that the answer of the player is the right answer. I like to see if the players did everything that they can do in the games, because of course you as a coach can know. Of course, everyone wants that the players make the best performance and they have the higher impact that they can have, but you cannot ask them to do this. It's something that have to be the consequence, first of all, of your will to do it, and at the same time of the effort that you do trying to do this. And for me, this is what we can control. And I am very happy about all the effort that the players give in the previous game.
One player who we thought did pretty well was Adama Diakhaby. He's another player, had a lot of criticism in the past, but he's presumably someone you're looking to get especially much out of playing on the wing this season.
For us, it's going to be very important to get the higher performance of each player that we have in the squad. Adama was one of the players that from I arrived here he showed that he wanted to make an important season here with us. That's why we made a decision to continue working with him, and that's why he's in the squad. And just we are focused to try to take all the conditions that he has as a player. We are going to continue working with him a lot, trying to allow him to have the impact that for his conditions he can have in the games.